jump over to the phone lines. Hello, thanks for calling Reasonable Doubt.
Hey, Jimmy, how are you?
Hey, Rob, I'm good.
I want to say that, to my knowledge, as a past host and a past president of HCCLA, I concur. I believe that Kim Ogg is the first district attorney of Harris County to appear on our show. And as the past host and past president of this organization, I'm glad that it's Kim Ogg, and we welcome your show, but I'm certainly glad that it's Kim, and welcome Kim onto the show. I'm glad Kim is the first on the show. It makes sense. I've been practicing law for 34 years, and I think Kim Ogg represents the best that we've ever had since I've been on the opposite side. I wanted to comment on a couple things y'all said, if you don't mind. Y'all were talking in agreement here, which is something new that we see between the district attorney's office and the defense bar, which is very welcome. And it seems like there's agreement between the defense bar and the district attorney's office that the courts requiring people to come to court every 30 days is a needless thing and a waste of time. And one of you posed the question, well, why do they keep doing it? And I will pose this suggested answer to you. I believe that many of the judges require defendants to come to court every 30 days because it's used as a mechanism to coerce pleas out of people, just as the systematic denial of PR bonds was used to coerce pleas. So that's my answer to that question. I really like the idea that, as I understand it, the district attorney's office and the defense bar are in agreement that there should be longer resets. And I wonder what Kim's thoughts are on waiving a defendant's appearance when that person has counsel, and rather than making people leave work and come to court for no particular reason. That's one question I have. And I have a second question, then I'll get off and I'll listen, which is hard for me to do.
Well, first off, Rob Fickman, thank you so much for your comments and your nice compliment, and it's an honor for me to be here. I would entertain the notion of waiving appearances if we can't get rid of these needless settings. And obviously, some courts are probably never going to agree. And so we can talk about that. But I think a concentrated push of the bar and the professionals who in fact staff those courts, and that's us, that my prosecutors are in agreement that 3 settings would be enough, and that if the set-offs are long enough in between, that we can get our work done. And I feel confident that the defense bar would as well. And if we have outliers that don't get their work done, then there's ways of handling that, without punishing everyone else.
That was one of the proposals the defense bar, made to the judges, that if they bond out and they've hired a lawyer, give them an immediate 90-day reset. There is no reason for them to be coming in that time frame.
And would agree to that. And if we need a hearing for bond conditions, we can ask for one. I mean, things do change. So, you know, that's what the courts are for, is for contested hearings, not for shuffling papers and people.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I agree with you all 100% on those 2 proposals of waiving appearance and longer resets, and I've advocated that for some time. But I don't. I have a disagreement about this. And I understand that you want to have something fixed, but I'm not sure I would agree with the 3-setting rule. But I have one other question that's more to the point, and that's this. Alex represents the Public Defender's Office. Tucker represents 700 members of the defense bar, and you, Kim Ogg, represent the district attorney's office. Y'all represent basically all the lawyers, or the vast majority of lawyers that appear in front of the criminal courts, the district courts and the county courts. So to me, your opinions should count. And I heard rumor that after the storm and since the storm, that y'all sought a meeting. And I'm sorry to put you on the spot, but I want the truth. And that is, I heard rumor that that y'all sought a meeting with the county courts and a separate meeting with the district court judges, and that they've declined the storm to meet with y'all. And if that's true, I think the public needs to know it. And I'll shut up and get off the phone and listen to y'all.
Well, I'll say go first and let Kim go. I reached out to both Judge Goodhart, who's the head of the misdemeanor, and then Judge Brown, head of the felony. We did have conversations. I did ask for meetings. I did ask to be included on these decisions that are being made. And we gave them, we had a board meeting of HCCLA. We outlined some proposals. We gave them to the judges. And again, nothing was done.
Yes, Rob, I know you're not really sorry for asking that question. I thought I'd just point that out, having known you as long as I have. I too sought meetings with both of them. Those requests were declined. I did speak with both judges on the phone, but it was clear to me from the first day we appeared after Harvey that my request was probably falling on deaf ears, and I'm sorry to hear that. And I've told both judges, administrative judges, how much I respect them and their position, and how important I felt it was during this time of national disaster to be collaborative so that we could more efficiently use our precious resources that protect people's freedom and that make public safety possible. And unfortunately, that was rejected.
From the Public Defender's Office, how are you proceeding with your office in light of Harvey and in light of maybe some lack of channels of communications open?
Well, I attended the HCCLA board meeting. I agreed with the proposal that was presented to the judges. I did not make a separate demand to meet with them. I've talked to Paula Goodhart. I've talked to Susan Brown, but we've yet to have any meaningful discussion, which is kind of unusual because I'm part of the coordinating council. There's a number of ways that the major players in the criminal justice system have discussions, and part of it's attributed to the fact that this is kind of a chaotic situation, but still there should be more attempts to get together and talk about these things. And I think enough time has gone on that we can't just simply say, well, there was a storm and that's the reason why we couldn't get together. I think we need to have those serious conversations.
We don't believe, the three of us sitting here, that our system will sustain the status quo. And I don't want to speak for the sheriff, but I have met with them and I've seen and witnessed the public safety concerns they have about moving inmates from the jail to the courts for needless settings, especially when they don't even appear in front of the court many times. And in the new setting, in the jail, it's really impossible for the defense counsel to meet with their client and talk with them. So, the settings would be fruitful if we were pleading cases or if we were trying cases. And we could do that even almost in the jail if we could get a jury in there. And so it's, whatever the source of the reticence to meet with us, I'm sorry, because I do believe that collaboration would serve our citizens better. And I think that's the responsibility of all elected people, whether you're elected the president of the defense bar, or whether you're elected the district attorney, or whether you're elected judge.